Eyes on you, Nikki You're on BBC Radio Oxford. It is 22 minutes to 4, and of course it's Friday. We are back to normality. Because it's Friday, it's time for our movie critic Van Connor to come on, talk about two brand new movies that are out this weekend, well, from today pretty much. With his very brutally honest opinions, we shall see what he thinks, and I'm hoping he's not going to completely ruin what I'm thinking about one of these movies, because there's one of them we're talking about today that I really want to see. It is Van Connor. Hello, mate. How are you?
Hello, man. Happy New Year. It's nice to be back with you.
Happy New Year. I'm having a debate about when we stop saying Happy New Year.
Well, I know. I count it as the first time. But I know the movie you're talking about. I think that's the movie we're going to be reviewing second, isn't it? But,
it is.
Right. Brace yourself for that one. Brace yourself. So let's talk then about Till really quickly first,
okay.
Which is a new movie from Clemency director Chinonye Chukwu. This one is another social justice tale, but this one is specifically social injustice, and that surrounding the death of Emmett Till in the mid-1950s. This is the story of his mum going from Chicago to the South, where he had been lynched, and finding herself basically confronted head-on with the civil rights injustices of the era, as she basically sees the trial of her son's killers unfold, and how she gets to go from relatively, blissfully ignorant Chicago-based to full-blown activist in no time at all. I've got a clip for you. And this is the mother and son sort of preparing for his holiday at the start of all this.
Bo, when you get down there...
not again, Mama. I've already been in Mississippi.
Only one time before, and you started a fight with another little boy.
He was picking on me.
You're in the right to stand up for yourself, but that's not what I'm talking about. They have a different set of rules for Negroes down there. Are you listening?
Yes.
You have to be extra careful with white people. You can't risk looking at them the wrong way.
I know.
Bo, be small down there.
Like this?
Wow, I mean, this is quite a sensitive movie to watch, with obviously a real kind of insight to what actually happened. Oh, you've disappeared. I can't hear you, Van. Oh,
we were muted for the clip there. Sorry. Yeah, it's really stirring stuff. Really moving, really powerful. It's handled with grace. It's handled with nuance. Fantastic central performance from Danielle Deadwyler there. And the only thing I would say that sort of counts against it is it's a bit boilerplate. It's a bit of a sort of standard courtroom riff. There's two or three texts that have kind of borrowed so heavily from the story of Emmett Till. So many iconic movies over the years that you do find yourself go back to. I saw that done in another thing slightly better, but the thing that holds it all together is just this terrific central performance from Danielle Deadwyler. Like I say, worth the movie on its own. Jalen Hall as Emmett Till, for the time that we do get to spend with him, makes the perfect impression. To be really honest, he's kind of perfectly cast. But like I say, the movie is handled in such a way that you do think feels quite respectful, and like in the sense that this will get shown in schools.
right.
You could see this getting shown to GCSE students down the line, absolutely. But like I say, really powerful, really stirring stuff.
Okay, well, if you want to go and see Till, it's in cinemas from today, isn't it?
Cinemas from today, sir.
All right, now on to our second movie, the one that I really want to watch. I'm a massive Tom Hanks fan. I first saw him in Big. That was the first movie I ever watched, and ever since then, I've loved everything else. I'm hoping this doesn't let me down, Van.
Right, I'm just going to ask you first and foremost, do you know what this is about?
So yeah. This is about a guy I believe lives on his own, feeling suicidal, and then he ends up meeting a neighbour from across the road, and then it kind of changes his motto for life.
It's kind of like that, yeah. The long and short of it is that you've got a recently sort of forced retirement widower who keeps trying to off himself, but people keep interrupting his attempts. And then every time they interrupt one of his suicide attempts, he sort of inadvertently becomes part of their lives. And through the encounters he has with all these people in his community, starts to enrich him, and he starts to find a new lease on life. I've got a clip for you of Hanks just on fine form here.
Hi. We wanted to properly introduce ourselves because, we're going to be neighbors and everything. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Are you always this unfriendly?
I'm not unfriendly.
Okay, you're not. No. You're not unfriendly. Every word you say is like a warm cuddle.
Well, we all know that Tom Hanks has got form for playing the kind of solitary characters from Castaway, for example, and he has to do something similar in this, I'm guessing.
Well, the thing is, right, as you can hear from the clip, he is meant to be a really, really unlikable man. And when you cast Tom Hanks as a really, really unlikable man, you know what I mean? There's an obvious problem there, which is Hanks is so darn likable, like just universally lovable, that it's so jarring to sit through this. But then again, you do sit there and think, if this were like Tommy Lee Jones or God forbid like J.K. Simmons, this would traumatize people. You need Hanks's levity there and his specific comedic pitch, because he plays it slightly heightened. You need that, I think, to sell the concept of this movie to Western audiences, because I remember reviewing the original Swedish adaptation of the novel of this back in 2015, A Man Called Ove.
Yeah.
And that did play grumpier. That did play closer to something like what you'd get if it was a Tommy Lee Jones type. And it was a notably darker film than this. This is a lot lighter, and you do feel like Hanks's presence and that warmth and charm and heart that he brings to everything, that is kind of what's powering that.
I really just love the whole concept of it. I think it's
very good.
I've seen the trailer, and it's right up my street. It's one of those movies you can really dive into. And are there any comedy moments in it? Because they weren't in the trailer.
I don't know. It's funny. It is a very funny film, but it's very darkly comedic. Like I say, it's very odd for Hanks, because you do feel it's a bit edgy for Tom Hanks. It's not quite at the point that he's dropping F-bombs or anything, but, I can't remember the last time I heard Tom Hanks curse, actually. That's how nice a man he seemingly is. But, he does get some laughs in there. He's Hanks. Like I say, he's playing it in an almost sort of Turner and Hooch level of sort of heightened reality.
I like that. No, I think this is brilliant. So if you want to go and see it, it's called A Man Called Otto, and that is that out today as well in cinemas?
That is in cinemas from today as well.
Be a good one to watch over the weekend. All right, well, lovely. Thank you very much for filling us in with those two, Van. Do you know what we're going to be talking about next week yet?
I'm very bloody excited about what we're going to be talking about next week, sir, because we're going to be talking about Megan, the new killer doll movie. I can't wait. That's my first movie back for 2023, and I'm over the moon about it. But just pour that in me. Can't wait.
Until then, Van, when we return to talk about killer dolls, have a lovely weekend, all right?
Till the next time, good sir.
Cheers, Van. Right, it's BBC Radio Oxford. It's 3:45 now with Sister Sledge. We are family.